Do I believe in myself? 100% I do. And so, we'll see what President Trump decides. I'm going to support whatever he does.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No. Don Jr. asked what was it about J.D. Vance. The first thing he said was he liked the way J.D. Vance was on TV.
Hi, my name is Reese Waters, and I'm troubled. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I am not troubled. Today is a momentous occasion. I get to drag Tim Scott and Byron Donalds to the white meat for months of shuffling for no job. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the page. Now, as you guys, I'm sure, are well aware, Ohio's J.D. Vance has been announced as Donald Trump's running mate for the 2024 election. And I would like to congratulate the good people of Ohio. Hopefully you can finally get J.D. Vance out the paint. The better way would have been to, vote for somebody else. But, you do what you can. You take the wins wherever you can take the wins. Tim Scott, what you doing here?
I don't know what went into that process. I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
I know, man. I know. I mean, this is bad. I mean, he picked J.D. Vance despite what he said about him.
This is an evolution, and I know you've been asked about this before, about past comments that you've made about Donald Trump. You've said, I'm a never Trump guy, never liked him, terrible candidate, idiot if you voted for him, might be America's Hitler, might be a cynical a-hole, cultural heroine, noxious and reprehensible.
And that's not to mention his whole idea of family.
And this is one of the great tricks that I think the sexual revolution pulled on the American populace, which is this idea that these marriages were fundamentally, they were maybe even violent, but certainly they were unhappy. And so getting rid of them and making it easier for people to shift spouses like they change their underwear, that's going to make people happier in the long term. And maybe it worked out for the moms and dads, though I'm skeptical, but it really didn't work out for the kids.
You've been buck dancing for months, and he just up and picks J.D. Vance despite all of that. I mean, this is bad. Even Nikki Haley and them got jokes. Which honestly makes a little bit of sense given how she helped you and you treated her.
Though there's a lot of tension, obviously, between President Trump and Governor Haley. That makes sense as they're headed to the showdown in South Carolina. But he says things like she may not be eligible to run, suggesting she wasn't born in the U.S., which she was. He calls her bird brain. He made comments about her husband being on military deployment as if he was trying to get away from her. Wall Street Journal says this: he seems to have forgotten, if he ever cared, that he will need some of her admirers to vote for him in November, talking about centrist Republicans, independents, even Democrats who voted for her. Is President Trump writing them off? Where does he think her supporters will go if he continues to attack her like that?
Well, there's no doubt that the race has gotten kind of challenging without any question. Listen, the rhetoric coming out of the Haley camp, talking about people's age. We see the Haley camp in the family referring to me as Judas Iscariot. We're hearing a lot of chatter out of the Haley camp, not only just matching the rhetoric from the Trump side, but actually going further. Why? Because they're desperate.
Did you ever think that she actually appointed you, Tim? And think of it, appointed, and you're the senator of his state, and she endorsed me. You must really hate her. No, it's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No, that's why he's a great politician.
You told another man you loved him and had your fiance out here all by herself. Hell, you got a fiance. That was part of your role, and you fully committed to it.
Senator Tim Scott, who on August the 3rd will become a father himself. I will tell you in advance, it is the best yet most expensive form of entertainment you can possibly have. So happy early Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to your dad.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining us on a Sunday night.
Wow. Wow. I mean, and based on what JD said, y'all got to stay together now. Yeah, it's not even your choice. There's a baby involved. Tim, I mean, hopefully you're not too angry because we've seen what it looks like when you get angry.
I can't believe the hoax, this sham, this absolute injustice justice system. D.A. Bragg and the judge should be ashamed of themselves. This isn't just ridiculous. This actually erodes the confidence that Americans have in the justice system. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. But good news is coming. D.A. Bragg, hear me clearly. You cannot silence the American people. You cannot stop us from voting for change. Joe Biden's injustice, Joe Biden's two-tier injustice system, weaponizing the justice system of the United States of America against a political opponent, un-American. Joe Biden, you're fired. We the people stand with Donald Trump.
Wait, what's that? Can you come home? You know what? Let me ask.
Man, hell no!
It looks like a no for me, dog. I mean, Tim, you was out here denying basic racism.
You would be the first black Republican VP on the ticket. How do you feel?
Well, I think it's exciting, no matter the outcome. It's the evolution of the Southern heart that we see on display. And we Southerners get so little credit for the progress we've made. The whole notion of judging a person on the content of their character, not the color of their skin, has happened. It's not going to happen. It's not around the corner. It's in the rearview mirror. We are living Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream.
You didn't even acknowledge the whole black jobs comment.
The president used a phrase I hadn't heard before. Maybe he's used it, maybe you've heard this, but he used a phrase saying that immigrants are coming into this country, undocumented immigrants, and they're taking black jobs and Hispanic jobs. What did he mean by that phrase, black jobs and Hispanic? What exactly does he mean? And does he mean low-wage jobs? And why not just say low-wage jobs? Why does he have to insert race and or ethnicity into it?
I got to tell you, the thing I thought was incredibly powerful on the issue of immigration was when President Trump said that we see our veterans homeless on the streets.
I'm gonna be real though, Tim. You can't be that mad. I mean, he did tell you you were better for him than you were for yourself.
I have to say, this is in a very positive way, Tim Scott. He has been much better for me than he was for himself. I watched his campaign.
He literally told you what it was. What's that smell? Hey, Byron Donalds, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Let's agree on something. I am, obviously one of the better communicators in the Republican Party. I know how to put words together. I do it very, very often. So I'm not going to say something that I do not agree with.
Well, apparently that's not true.
One at a time, murders in Milwaukee are down 39% since last year. And the Trump campaign's own election investigator in 2020 said that Wisconsin's results were legit. So if Mr. Trump feels so strongly that Milwaukee is a horrible city, why is he having his convention there?
Well, two things. First of all, when you bring these comments up, please bring them in context. I'm glad that you mentioned what the campaign said afterwards, but I noticed that your network and a lot of the press are not doing that. With respect to Milwaukee, he was talking about allegations of voter fraud and also the crime rate.
He didn't mean it was a horrible city, just the crime, the ways in which people say it's a horrible city. I need to know, Byron, because I don't think anybody else in the history of colors knows what it feels like to dredge up Jim Crow just to curry favor and still not get the job. I don't think any of us has ever gone to those lengths. I need to know how that feels.
During Jim Crow, the black family was together.
That's right.
During Jim Crow, more black people were not just conservative, because black people always have been conservative-minded, but more black people voted conservatively. And then H.E.W., Lyndon Johnson, and then you go down that road, and now we are where we are.
Trump had you singled out at a Blacks for Trump event like the last Cocoa Puff. That man had you stuffed into a barbershop chair listening to him talk about how much we loved his mugshot.
But since this has happened, like the mugshot is the best. It just beat Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra by a lot, by the way. Beat him by a lot. But that's the #1 mugshot of all time. It's really an amazing thing. Since it happened, the support among the black community and the Hispanic community has skyrocketed.
Then he almost got you monkey stomped at that Atlanta cigar shop thanks to Wesley Hunt and his jigger boots.
Because only in America do you have 3 black children matriculate through the premier leadership institution of the entire world and graduate from there and live in a barracks named after a Confederate general. Only in America. And if it were named anything differently, I wouldn't have that perspective. Do you think I support the Confederacy? Don't kid yourself. Of course I don't. Excuse me? Wow. Of course I don't. See, this is what happened to you last time. This is what happened to you last time. I'm trying to have a nuanced conversation.
You don't forget about where you're from. Don't paint the picture. Don't tell us that we can't educate our kids on the opportunity. We're talking about vouchers. You're talking about things that's still going to cost more money.
So the point I'm making is that I actually do understand
You
where I came from.
don't
I
understand.
totally
It's
recognize
obvious.
the value
It's
of that.
obvious.
And what I want to say is, at no point in time will I ever be a victim. That's why
Everybody
I'm sitting
has a
here right
story,
now.
is my
And
point.
I don't care what the name of
What are
the
you
statue
going to
was,
do?
and I don't care what the name of the
Everybody
building
has
is.
an opinion. What are you going to do?
I don't care what the name of the building is because
I'm a black dad. This is a
am
conversation
not.
for black men, and all I hear is people that are non-black trying to hush me.
Now, I'll be honest with you, Tim, Byron, y'all should have known. I mean, really, y'all should have known. I don't know what part of Donald Trump's history made you think he was going to pick a black VP. Somebody that actually would be one step away from the presidency. Y'all really thought that he was going to pick one of us for that no matter what you did? This man didn't even believe that America was ready to receive a black winner of The Apprentice. And you thought he was going to select a black winner of the VP? Come on now. He didn't birtherism for nothing. What y'all been paying attention to? Now both of y'all spiritually homeless and got nowhere to go home to. The only place y'all can go back to is back to him.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
But at least there's company. I mean, you can hang out with the rest of the rejected black friends.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Trump. Happy birthday.
I support Trump against this corrupt, two-tiered justice system.
And of course, at least y'all have each other.
I know, man. It hurt me too. Come here, man.